Welcome to CityScope, a podcast where we discuss City of Salina projects, services, and initiatives in depth. I'm your host, David Hawksworth, and on today's program we have Travis Scheele. He's the Recreation Superintendent.
Yeah, glad to be here, Dave.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, glad to be here.
You've been with the city 20 years.
20 years, you believe that? 20 years, yep, it'll be this June, yep.
So take me through what you've seen in the recreation program from the time you started to your record-breaking year of 2025.
Sure. Yeah, well, I've been here about 20 years, and what brought me here was the parks and the system, and what attracted me, and what programs were offered, and then but what we did see is some of that infrastructure, starting to fade, and then what I've seen in the last 5 to 10 years. Is amazing, to be honest with you. The support of downtown, city commission, people within the city of having this vision of kind of renovating the facilities, and it's been amazing. Not just the field house, the field house is probably the biggest one, but as far as my first day on the job, I walked out to the soccer complex, and it was already graded and dirt, and now it's beautiful and lush and green. And then you have the Dean Evans Stadium, the Pestinger Family Stadium. The grandstands are going in, by the way. I don't know if you've been out there yet, but you might want to check that out. Looks pretty good. Bill Burke, to just a lot of the facilities that's been renovated and upgraded, and I think it's making a difference in our programs. I really do.
You can see it in the numbers.
Can see it in the numbers. I really can. And then the evolution of programs is quite fascinating, and our participation is high, and creates problems. Really does. People don't think about that, but it does create problems of enough space, enough staff, and those are the problems that I'll try to figure out any day due to high participation. But it's been a great run.
Yeah. We were talking just before we went on the air here about the number of teams that you saw in 2025.
Yes. So 2025 was a record year since I've been here anyways. I do keep track of numbers, and we had 550 league teams. Wow. Just think about that. What we're servicing within our community, and that's a broad range of youth baseball, softball, soccer, adult softball is coming on again, and just basketball, to all those programs that we offer, and it hits a lot of people, really does. So, and then that's just a community, but I was keeping track of our league or our tournament teams as well, and we had over 1,200 tournament teams.
Wow.
That's including the field house, Bill Burke, and Berkeley Family Recreational Area. Those areas, they serve a lot on weekends, and bring a lot of impact to our community.
Yeah, it's attracting literally thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
They stay in hotels here, they eat in our restaurants,
Right.
and it's really kind of an economic driver.
It is. It really is. And then the field house have just developed not just basketball, volleyball, probably your two main ones right there, but you're servicing a lot of different special events as well into the field house. Just Easter egg hunt to Match Madness. I think we just had Match Madness, right? A lot of different people that gets brought into the facility, and then that makes that facility pretty special, being open, flexible,
Right.
being capable of bringing in some different but high impact events.
And one thing that I think a lot of people don't even think about is all the homeschools.
Yeah. So we've developed a lot homeschool wise, and I never, in my wildest dreams, I never had it on my list to start developing. It just kind of happened. But homeschool has been a big tenant, I guess or an organization into the field house, and it started with basketball, and then it developed into volleyball. But the Smoky Valley homeschool educators, they run all of their basketball practices and games, all of their volleyball practices and games inside the field house. And when they bring people, I mean, it's just maybe using one court for a game, but they bring a lot of people to it. And that's just their games. The one thing we found out with their tournaments is they're bringing a high impact of people with tournaments, and they use the whole facility, and we kind of developed into other home schools, Newton, Hutch, Manhattan, they're meeting here, in the middle and using our space for, for their games as well. Not just the Salina home schools, but other home schools as well. And that developed into the home school runs I think it's Smoky Valley Home Educators basketball tournament. Well, that developed into an idea. Well, let's have the state tournament here. So there's a state homeschool tournament in the field house. It used to be at Hutch, but now it's here is the national, and they call it the ND2 homeschool national tournament. And that brought, just that weekend, I found interesting, they brought 80 some teams, but then on that Sunday we had a home volleyball tournament, HOA volleyball tournament. Just that weekend was 117 teams.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were busy. We were
Yeah.
very busy. And I think that was the same weekend as state wrestling and everything too. So Salina was hopping that weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well,
So that's been a big impact for us and the community is the homeschool.
right. Right. Well, congratulations to you and your staff.
Yeah. It's just one thing leads to another,
Right.
and then you have people with passion, and hey, let's make this work, and you figure it out.
Right. Right. Okay. 2025 was a rousing success.
Yeah.
That means we have to beat it in 2026.
Okay. Yeah. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
That'd be really
right,
tough.
right.
But yeah, we got a couple maybe new events, maybe and then returning events, and you figure out way to make them bigger and better. That's that's what keeps me up at night. How can we do this different? What can we do better with certain events? But yeah, that's our goal, is to get them bigger and better.
Right. Right. Okay. What's going on this spring in recreation?
A lot. A lot. We're getting youth soccer up and going. Matter of fact, this weekend it'll be late March, and we're going to get that going up. We got 53 teams just with our youth soccer league. I think that's the highest we've ever had for spring. Yeah. And so we're getting that going out at the Magnolia Soccer Complex. And we got adult volleyball going. That's kind of a hidden gem for us a little bit, and it's just creeping up. One of our programmers, Gwen Turner, does a fabulous job with that, and we offer every season. And this season it was 32 teams, I think. And so you're generating 100 some teams, year round with just adult volleyball, and that's their night, and they want to recreate. And so that's kind of a hidden gem. Another one that's surprising me is coming back is adult softball a little bit. It'll never be the heyday.
Right.
Back in the 80s and 90s, it'll never be that way, but we're starting to see numbers creep up there as well. And so we're offering a spring program for co-ed later on this month in March, and we're getting that going. And then we kind of take the summer off a little bit, though. Let the youth play.
Right.
And then right when the youth get done, about middle of July, we'll get going with adults again with the late summer program. And then a fall is pretty popular. So we get the co-ed and men's going there.
Right.
So looking forward to that. We're just conducting our youth baseball and softball meetings. Just had our youth baseball meeting last night, matter of fact. So those numbers look good. And doing our softball here tomorrow night. We'll see what those numbers look like, but we're seeing those numbers creep back up a little bit. I think it's due to our facilities. City Commission elected to put some money back into Bill Burke.
Put a lot of money into it.
We were dealing with some problems down there. We really were as far as drainage and the amount of practices and games and tournaments. And the turf has definitely helped. Turf is not maintenance free.
Right.
Some people think that, but it's not. So just keeping up on the maintenance. And I really think, what again the community is putting into the facilities is showing in our participation, and along with staff that work hard, have fun, work hard, and have a passion.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just amazing. Every time I live kind of near Bill Burke, so I drive down Crawford all the time, and on Saturdays and Sundays, boy, that parking lot is so full.
It is, and then we had an abnormally warm winter when you think about it, and so we had a lot of requests. that we normally don't
Uh-huh.
in the winter to use the facilities. And then on the west end of the levee, we do use that for practice for soccer as well. And we at the soccer complex, we have grass, and our soccer numbers are going up. But what people don't realize, that's a lot of compaction, a lot of play on our grass. So we do have to spread those practices out to other facilities and play mainly games at the complex, but we do have some practices there as well. But those are just those little problems that I was talking about of high participation, and I'd be glad to figure them out.
One of the neat things about soccer is the robotic line painter that you have.
Okay, so Dave,
Dave, yeah.
Dave Atterkirk was a huge impact as far as soccer club back in the day, and that's when I got here. We did hire him. He was a rec supervisor for us for years. He decided to leave and go take care of his family, and God bless him, go do it. But we worked for 2 to 3 years getting a robotic painter, and we finally were blessed after he left. So we named him Dave after him. That does take a lot of maintenance off of our plate.
Oh, definitely.
A lot of man hours, and we can move those fields. The compaction and the wear, you'll start seeing it here within a month. So we can move those fields just a little bit, 20 yards this way or that way, and spread those wear areas out.
Yeah.
And so Dave has served wonders. So we'll knock on wood that he keeps going. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did a program on that once, and they said
Did you?
Like manually it would take about 3 hours to paint a soccer
Correct.
field. Now it takes like less than an hour.
Yeah, oh yeah, we can do a field in 20 some minutes. Just pressing a button, and there goes Dave.
It's all GPS and
there
everything.
goes Dave.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's amazing.
It's pretty neat.
Well, league teams and all of that is not the only thing that goes on in the
Right. When people see recreation, I guess they automatically think sports, but that's not just the case. Sarah Hageman is in charge of our instructional programs, and we had toddler time over the winter, and it's just a simple program. It's on Thursday mornings. Moms and dads bring their toddlers into the field house, and we have an abundance of toys. I always tell Sarah we have too many, but we just spread.
We never have too many toys for kids.
We just spread them out there in courts, and it got so big we had to use multiple courts for our area. But they just come in and pay a fee of $2, and those parents are glad to pay that fee because at the end, then their kiddos are pretty tired, and then they go home and get their lunch and take their naps. So it's developed into a really good program for us, and Sarah wants to run one over the summer as well. So Thursdays in the summer, June and July, and it starts getting hot. I'm very impressed with our park system. Those families go to our parks and use that to recreate. However, in the summer, it gets hot. So we're going to try it for the summer as well and see if it's as successful.
Okay.
So we do have summer camp coming up,
Right.
Speaking of summer, and we expanded our offerings from 80 to 90. I know it's not much, but we did have a waiting list, and so hopefully that takes care of a few more kiddos. And that summer camp is pretty awesome. And then the field house really turns into a day facility during the summer, and it's not quiet by any means.
Right.
It's pretty loud, but those kiddos come in. I think it starts at 7:15 and ends at 5:30 for parents to come pick them up, drop their kids off, kindergarten through 5th grade, and we have groups based on their age. And it's pretty cool. One hour they're playing basketball, the next hour they're playing chess, the next hour they're playing cornhole or whatever different activity it's scheduled. It's they got different things going on, and then they have field trips. Go to the pool a couple times a week. Go to the zoo. Go bowling, whatever it is that week. Got a field trip going on just to keep them busy. Maybe get them out of the field house. Movies, they have quiet time. Movies. And just a whole array of games, and just to keep them active. That's another one where the parents thank us. They'll bring them in the following morning. Thank you. My kid went right to bed, after supper. So they're on the go, and that's important.
And it's pretty affordable too.
Yes, pretty affordable compared to other what people charge in the community, and it is affordable. That's coming up. You'll start to see some offerings there in our summer brochure, and start looking when it comes early April, and then we have registration signups, and I think it's April 20th. Don't quote me on that, but we do have packets available at the field house for people to come pick up, or at the Parks and Recreation office to come pick them up. We do it's a state regulated program, so there is a lot of paperwork associated with that.
Right.
Get the paperwork filled out, and then sign up. That's the beauty of it, is you can sign up for whatever week you want. It's not
Right.
like you have to sign up
For
all
all
of
8
it.
weeks or
No,
whatever
you
it
can
is,
pick
yeah.
your weeks and pay for it, and submit your paperwork. And we've kind of tried to be as customer service as possible with that.
Right.
But yeah, and don't wait. I highly encourage people not to wait on that one, because the weeks do fill up.
Yeah, they fill up pretty quick. So.
Yep.
Yeah, you were pretty full last year. I think there
We were.
weren't too many weeks where you had some vacancies.
Every week had a waiting list,
Right.
and we monitored that, and then it just comes down to our staffing problem. Do we have enough staff? And we're trying to get more with that particular program and other areas. So we upped it to 90. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And of course, tons of things going on at the field house. There's tons of things going on in other areas of the city too. The
Yeah.
municipal golf course has.
Golf course is busy. I think they were I was talking to Mike, they were busier than normal,
Right.
just due to the abnormal, norm
Winter,
of the winter. So
Right.
they had some play going on out there. I see Brian Underwood from time to time. He's got a lot going on over at the Lakewood Discovery Center. And then you got Andrea. She's starting to gear up for Kenwood Cove opening. So there'll be a lot going on here later on, late spring, early summer.
Yeah,
A lot going on.
definitely,
So check us out at the summer brochure. That'll be coming out here early April.
Okay. None of this would be possible if you didn't have a great staff to help you out.
We're blessed. The staff that we have, we're blessed. We did have some vacancies, trying to fill those, and then I do have some vacancies. You can check us out on at jobs.salina-ks.gov, and there's a whole bunch of part-time positions there. I just kind of run through a few of them. We need baseball and softball umpires. We got those seasons coming up, and then we do need scorekeepers, too, facility supervisors, those type part-time jobs. And then as far as facility goes, at the field house too, we have some people who want to be around sports. They want to be around people, like hiring teachers. They had the summers off, and that's what they do anyways. They're around people. So soccer officials, we do have some parks facility maintenance. People, again, the turf is not maintenance free, right?
Right.
Parks are not maintenance free. We still have some dirt fields to drag. We want to keep our parks looking good, and so we do hire field maintenance people for those positions. I mentioned to Andrea, she's hot and heavy hiring lifeguards right now, and there's different positions there as far as lifeguard, just depending on what level. And then just recreation assistance for her. She needs the part-time help, facility maintenance, and then we have parks maintenance. They have golf course. They're all hiring part-time jobs. So definitely, if you're looking for a part-time job, you want to check out that website at jobs.salina-ks.gov.
Right. My son has worked in
Yep.
several of those positions
Yep.
over the course of his high school years, and
Gives them good experience too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Part-time job puts some cash in your pocket and gives them some experience to go on.
yeah.
So.
And when he comes back this summer, he's excited to be a coach for First Tee this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. In First Tee, they have a session inside the field house. I don't know if a lot
Right,
of people
during the
know
winter,
that during
yeah.
the winter, and that turned out to be a good one. Ken Stonebreaker, the retired athletic director for Salina South, runs that, and then along with Mike, and they had a lot of kiddos coming through the field house. So that's pretty cool. And they have a simulator they set up, and I think they may have liked to play it a little bit themselves too. So,
Right.
but those are just another example of what's evolved just by an idea
Right.
and a space.
Right. Okay. Well, there's some other things that are going on. I know Sarah Hageman runs the therapeutic recreation program.
Yes, the TR program, they're busy. They meet at least once a week. They could be bowling. They could be doing arts and crafts. They could be doing, she followed a national accredited program. It's called Can Play. So what's worked out for them is maybe they might do an activity in the off season. Maybe they play basketball in the summer, or maybe they did soccer, and it's just she's found a niche offering that program maybe in the off season. But so Can Play, she's offering that. And then her senior trips have really taken off. They go to Maxwell Refuge. Then maybe they go down to the Mercantile down in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Mainly one-day trips. You may have to leave early, and you're getting back late. But one-day trips. So you can check those out on our brochure as well. But got a lot to offer there for the seniors, and we're seeing participation going up in those programs as well.
Yeah. There's some cool things there.
We talked about facilities a little bit. We talked about Bill Burke. Bill Burke's about mainly done. We're going to do a few things to it here or there. We're catching some things. Hey, we can maybe have a batting cage or something, or something like that. We got little things. But Pestinger Family Stadium, we're getting close. But again, I urge you to go up there and check out those grandstands. They're different, but I think it just adds to that facility. And then we're getting close to being done there. We're starting to see some of our other facilities. There's no dugouts at Matson right now. Right. They're gone. We're trying on some of those older facilities that maybe have been neglected over the years, and then we're going to try to piece and do a couple things a year to them to try to get them back up and going and kind of blend in. So again, we talked about facilities making an impact with our programs, and I'm a true believer in that. That's what we're seeing in our numbers anyways.
Right. Okay, so our viewers and listeners have a number of things that they can do here. They can make sure they see the spring or the summer activity guide.
It's
that's coming out in April.
You bet.
And that'll be available on the city's website. I believe it's you can go to salinaparks.com.
Correct.
And you'll see a link to download that activity guide there. And it will contain all the information you need to register, and I think there's a whole online website that you can register for any program on.
Most, if not all, of our programs now are done online, so a click of a button, right. So that makes it pretty easy for the user. But yeah, I highly recommend going to our website and really checking out what we have to offer, because it's a variety.
Right. So if you have kids, Fieldhouse Summer Camp is a great thing to do.
Yep.
You have days at the pool,
Yep.
days at Kenwood Cove. You can go to the golf course. You
Yep.
can go to a game at Bill Burke.
Baseball, softball, soccer tournaments. Again, we're starting with tournaments. Our outdoor tournaments coming up here later in March and in early April. So you'll see a lot of activity with that going on, mainly at Bill Burke, but a lot up at Berkeley Family Recreational Area as well. So we got that tournaments. We didn't talk too much about them, but we got a lot.
There's also drop-in things on Friday nights at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, that's coming to a close here.
Okay.
We had drop-in and Friday nights at the Fieldhouse, mainly volleyball and pickleball, as you know, has kind of come on.
Right.
We do have a daily drop-in there. I'm seeing some, uptick in that as well. Just, hey, a guy wants to go shoot hoops over his lunch break or whatever it is. Right. We do have some drop-in going on. I'm driving by the pickleball courts every now and then. They're always full, with pickleball play. We do have a group of ladies that come in they must be fair weathered. If it's even an ounce of wind or it's even hot or cold, they're in the field house playing. So we got that going on. But that pickleball complex has been really an asset to Salina.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Anything we missed?
That's it.
That was pretty comprehensive.
That was enough. That was enough. We got a lot going on. We really do.
Yeah.
Proud of our team, and I highly recommend going to our website. Find something for you.
Yeah, always plenty to do in Salina.
Yep.
That's for sure.
You bet.
All right. Well, Travis, I've learned a lot about everything that's going on in recreation, and really appreciate you being on the program today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time on CityScope.